Good morning mga kamangga, nandito tayo para magbigay ng reaction para sa napakagandang fan-made ni Callmearj. Thank you very much at you're the best. Yan ha, nag-i-English pa para sa ating reaction dito sa napakaganda niyang ginawa. Magsimula na tayo mga kamangga.
The story continues with Vegito in his new form, standing with his mysterious black horns blaring out of his forehead and the V mark on his chest glowing a violent purple, as black signature lightning coats his entire figure. While in front of him, a giant titan, created of course by Madara, the second of the 5 strongest, stands still, intimidatingly.
Antindi ng datingan, no? Tingnan mo naman yung pagkaka-drawing. Tingnan mo yung ginagawang sketch, napakaganda. Tingnan mo yung pagkakabigay ng background, detalyado. Pero sa senaryong ito, yung tinatawag na apparition na ginawa ni Madara ay talagang naninindak para kay Ultra Vegito.
Within the giant apparition though, Madara remains as cocky looking as ever, not bothered in the slightest, it seems, by Vegito's new appearance, as he grabs onto his mask eccentrically and lets out... Well, would you look at that? You changed yet again. And this time, not just your hair color changed. How curious. Though, I have to say you look far less intimidating than earlier, even with those embarrassingly small horns on your head. I don't believe that is supposed to be part of a Saiyan's anatomy, if I know my primates well. More like, in fact, what you see on a demon. Just all the more reason why you should no longer exist anymore, Vegito.
Ang tindi talaga ng pang-aalas ka. Hindi daw yung ganun ng karaniwang unggoy na sayan.
And finally, in typical fashion, Vegito begins laughing in response, before saying back, "So, just because I grew some horns, I'm a demon that doesn't deserve to exist, huh? But you gods just are freely able to go around annihilating entire planets as and when you choose, looking down on anything that is weaker than you. Yet, you are the ones that should remain? Is that what you're saying?" You have to just love the truly stupid logic you elderly gods stick to. Silence, you damn child! But suddenly, from what was once a calm and concerted demeanor, pure fury...
Asartalo si Madara eh. Kayong mga Diyos lang pwedeng gumala at ang kaya nyo lang patayin, mga mas mahihina sa inyo.
and anger can be heard in the voice as he yells, pointing down at Vegito. "I've had enough of your insolence, you puny scum, and enough of your damn sob story. Boo-hoo! A few weak gods from this realm killed your friends and family, and now you have a vendetta against us all? Give me a break. We gods are what hold these universes together, and even the realms above, too.
Wow,
you wouldn't even exist without beings like us. This whole place would be overrun with the demon realm. You're lucky you absorbed that weak one, because if it was one of the true emperors that were released, the Grand Priest or Zeno themselves would no longer be able to watch you like some circus act." For soon, Madara's mannerism turns back to sinister as he continues. "In fact, this all only began because you killed a god. Because you killed Beerus. Because of that one action, all of those innocent little earthlings had to die."
Ang nangyari daw eh, ang pumatay talaga, nagsimula si Ultra Vegito, kaya damay-damay na to.
Your sons, your wives, your friends, all gone forever. It seems in actuality, it was all because of you.
Yan, kita mo, lahat ng bagay na ginawa niya, mga pagpapatayan na yan, lahat na naging problema, ikaw ang may kasalanan, Vegito. Tingnan natin reaction ni Ultra Vegito.
Not anybody else. It was because of
Inulit
you,
na naman!
Vegito!
Inulit na naman! Nah.
But in response, a cold and hardened stare manifests on Vegito's face, as he no longer can listen to anymore. He just simply spits out, "Watch your tongue!"
Hindi ko gusto tabat ng dila mo.
But this blunt response only serves to make Madara laugh once more, as he grabs his mask again and continues, "Watch my tongue? Oh, what, mortal? Have you forgotten already exactly who I am? You seem to have completely lost your marbles after what I just said. What's wrong? Did I say something that stung? Earthling killer?" But as soon as Madara says that final line, with complete silence, Vegito just then raises his black lightning-covered palm into the sky before then closing his palm as if now
Ano kaya
sealing
mangyayari?
someone's face. But curiously, nothing seems to happen. What was that supposed to be? You truly are a joke. If I'm such a joke, then start laughing.
Ito matindi. Kung ako pala ay isang katatawanan, magsimula ka ng tumawa.
And suddenly, out of nowhere from the heavens themselves, or maybe even the demon realm, a massive strike of black thunder shoots down and hits directly on the giant titan containing
Tinamaan ng kidlat
Madara, shocking the apparition instantly as its entire insides and skeletal structure
Tinamaan ng kidlat. Walang yan. Litaw lahat yung mga buto eh. Parang extra eh.
become visible for an instant. Instantly leading to the giant being crashing down onto one knee and onto its right fist.
Bagsak eh.
Immediately tilting Madara, who experiences the massive G-force of the fall too, as he then lets out angrily, "What the hell? Did this mortal just command down lightning from this god-forsaken planet?"
Parang sinabi, kamag-anak ni Thor, God of Thunder.
Who the hell does he think he is? Some kind of thunder god? Where did he go? But suddenly mid-sentence, as Madara turns at the Titan to see where Vegito is, he quickly notices the God Killer is nowhere to be seen anymore. Angering the impatient second as he yells out, "Damn it! That vile scrounger managed to distract me with that little magic trick. But now where the devil has he gone? The devil's right here, Madara."
Ang demonyo'y nandito sa likod mo, Madara.
But suddenly, the voice of the God Killer is heard once more. Leading to Madara quickly turning around. Only for the smiling Vegito to now appear right behind him. And within the giant titan too, as Vegito nonchalantly lets out, "So this is what it's like inside this giant samurai." Thought it looked weird at first, but it's kind of cozy. What? What are you doing in here? Immediately leaving the panicked Madara to react in fear.
Napasok na ang kwampo ni Madara.
Now looking head on at the newly transformed Vegito as he folds his arms without a care in the world, making Madara continue, "If you don't get out of my sight, right? Shut up!"
Shut up, ah. Aalis ka sa paningin mo, ah. Isang tadyak sa kanyang dibdib.
Before suddenly, with the fastest and most brutal of kicks, Vegito slams his foot 300 Spartan style right into the chest of Madara. So hard, it almost seems like his foot penetrated right through into the deity's body. sending Madara shooting out straight from the Great Samurai and right down to the ground as if falling from a skyscraper.
Ano kaya nangyari doon? Lumusot palabas? di kumbaga nangyari, nabutas yung kanyang apparition.
And once we zoom in, the legendary second is seen as helpless as any of the mortals he used to look down on, as the force of Vegito's kick continues sending him down, acting like its own force of gravity. Until, with a violent crash, Madara smashes straight into a group of sharp rocks and boulders on the ground below, and unable to do a thing about it. Meanwhile though, now all alone, now within the Titan Madara created, in the middle of the center crystal, Vegito remains. And looking around at his surroundings, he soon comments with a curious smirk. Interesting. This seems to be a little different to the giant I can create via Ultra Instinct.
Mas maganda daw, mas
Let's see
maganda.
how this thing works.
Ayun.
But back on the ground, where Madara remains buried in a smoking pile of rubble on the floor, a slight rumble can be heard until... With a crash, something bursts forth. Something or someone I'm sure we all know. As the hand of the second is then seen bursting out with a murmur until... Finally, the second of the 5 strongest emerges in full, damaged but still able to move and full of anger.
Ano masasabi niyo mga kamangga? Durog para rin siya isang tinatawag na mortal.
With his hair in disarray and his mask now cracked for the first time in millennia, he would continue. How dare you use my tools as your own? How dare you use the possessions of the deities, you damn mortal! A weakling like you has no place touching these things.
Ang sabi, ang mahinang katulad mo, hindi pwedeng hawakan ng mga ito. Mahina pala, basag yung maskara mo.
And nor will you possess even an inkling of the power and grace needed to use them either. Stop fooling yourself and get out! Oh, really? But in response, Ultra Vegito, of course, just breaks out in laughter. His grin wide as he suddenly raises his arm out again, as if to strike Madara with thunder again, before saying, So I can't handle this level of power, you say, huh? Not enough grace. I guess that's because of these horns too, right? Well, let's just put that to the test then, shall we? As instantly, on command of Vegito, with even
Sabi niya, sige, subukan nga natin ito laruan mo.
more speed and precision than before, the giant apparition pulls back its giant sword and angles its trajectory straight for Madara. What? No! Leaving the
Ang tatagain pala, diretso kay Madara dahil susubukan. No!
second momentarily stunned in place as he just observes his own most powerful weapon turn on him inexplicably due to the actions of a mortal.
Diba? Oh, wow!
And with a thunderous roar and explosion of force, the giant then slams instantly the energy-powered blade straight down onto the second without mercy. All the while, Ultra Vegito watches from within. And amazingly, the force and power of such a divine tool, when we zoom out into space,
nahati yung planeta. Grabe, planeta nahati.
slices the entire planet in half in the aftermath also, causing a portion to instantly then separate and be lost to the void of space as it slowly moves away.
Ay, grabe naman yun.
Oops! And with such monstrous destruction done, a cheeky smile comes across Vegito's face as he covers his mouth to stop himself from laughing and then says, Looks like I went a little too far.
Mukhang napasobra yata ako, sabi ni Vegito.
Who knew I had such grace? Hey, Madara! No worries, though. I don't seem to detect any other life forms on this desolate planet anyway. I guess that old codger Arak wanted to fight me all alone. Respectable for a god, I guess. But what about this one? Is he dead already or what?
Tinatanong patay na ba ito si Madara? Baka tinamaan eh.
Not a chance, God Killer!
Not a
But of course, from behind Vegito, the very same voice of the god he was talking about shouts out from behind. And practically unbothered though, Vegito would then just turn around slowly, with a smile inquiring, "Oh, there you are, Mr. Second. Thought I lost you there for a moment. How are you doing? You look a little different."
Mukhang iba ka na.
Get out!
Grabe naman yung itsura. Durug-durug na awa-awa na si Madara.
As shockingly, Madara does indeed appear behind Vegito, but not as we remember him. As now his entire fit appears totally damaged in all aspects, with his left leg and right arm now exposed, and crucially, now his mask broken and revealing one of his dangerous eyes. As with a cold look, he would let out, "You will pay a far dearer price than
nanakot na naman.
whatever the priest had in mind now, boy. Do as you like with these lower gods, but make a fool of one of the five, and you will pay for eternity, my friend."
Talaga?
Immediately leading to Madara rushing in now point blank at a stood still Vegito with his right leg fully pulled back. Off with your head!
Tanggal daw ang ulo.
Managing to land straight on what appears as the God Killer's face for devastating impact. That is of course until the true impact is seen, with the giggling Vegito's neck bent to the side, but an unbothered look showing us just how little the attack did as he quips, "Off with my head? You're lucky to itch my ear with something like that. Have you gotten weaker or something? I don't remember you being so pathetic." What? How dare you! In a flash, triggering Madara, who remains pushing his leg harder and harder, hoping to budge Vegito even an inch. While the still smiling Vegito would just look him dead in the eyes and let out,
Grabe, sipa na. Tapos tinotodo pa, wala mangyari.
"Wait, that's not all you've got, is it? Come on, do something actually entertaining." What a disappointment you are, Madara. Guts will be rolling in his grave.
Grabe.
Before instantly grabbing onto Madara's prone leg, before sweeping his grip back in a stance, ready to throw him like a shot put, as he says crassly, "Perhaps it's time you join him there." Suddenly then throwing the legendary second of the five with vicious force straight down once again, as the helpless Madara can barely do a thing. Shooting down directly to the ground like a laser beam within nanoseconds, shaking the very core of what's left of the planet. But once again, though there is an eerie silence under the rubble at first, it's not long before...
Durug-durug na, wala na.
Madara, in an intoxicated rage, would burst out even more damage than ever before. And now, with his entire face unmasked for the first time, his true emotional anger now being finally visible. As once his face calms back down, as he stands surrounded in electricity,
Kakaawa talaga si Madara.
through gritted teeth, he lets out, "You. This joke has gone on long enough. I don't remember the last time I ever even felt the cold air on my skin. Your death will be colder, God Killer. Whatever's going on here cannot be allowed. A mere mortal contending with me. This has to be
A mere mortal daw, isang mortal nakikipaglaban sa akin. Durog-durog ka na nga.
some form of trick. The same you used to defeat Guts, no doubt.
Ang matindi nito kung ikaw ay Dragon Ball Pals, no? Para na yung ugali nito Si Master Satan Si Master Pogi. Si Master Pogi lagi sinasabi, isang malaking pandaraya! Pandaraya!
If only I still had my sword, this battle would already be over! And for a moment, with this statement uttered, there's a period of silence as Madara stands before the menacingly tall Titan. But from within, Vegito, now showing his same side, grows curious over Madara's claims, as he inquires, even after seeing the clear difference in our powers, you still underestimate me so much that you think it's just because you're missing your sword?
Tama
Do you
nga naman
really believe
tama.
the utter
Yung sinabi
garbage
ko
you're
kanina.
spouting out? Or are you trying to make me angry? But Madara, now smiling cunningly back at Vegito, would then respond, oh, most definitely, my young friend. There isn't a shade of doubt in my mind. You'd be finished if I had my legendary blade back with me. I have mastered the art of swordsmanship over millions of years. There isn't a warrior alive who could best me when a katana is in my possession. You forget, those same sword skills you were so impressed by from Guts were all just the meager teachings I gave him while he studied under me.
Okay, tamo ha? Nagyabang pa. Pagiging magaling na espada.
This isn't even a question. After all, you do remember what happened the last time you attacked me with my blade in hand, don't you, God Killer? As behind Madara, a flashback is then
May katwiran.
seen to the moment the second instantly beheaded Vegito. The first time they ever clashed.
Yun!
And in final response, the God Killer would then curiously begin biting onto the glove of his left hand, slowly pulling on it until finally completely removing it and revealing his bare arm. Until suddenly, with his glove still in mouth, muffling his tones, Vegito would hold out his palm straight towards Madara with his energy absorption
Ayun, yung kamay pala niya, meron palang gloves. Kaya ibig sabihin, pag wala yung gloves na yon, lahat ng mahawakan niya, nahihigop.
device on full show. This immediately alarming the second as he changes stance into one which is presumably defensive. As he yells back, so, your response is just to blast me from all the way up there, huh? Cowardly move, mortal. But fine. Sword or not, I will still find a way to expose your weakness. You are nothing to me!
Wala ka sa akin, pero bugbog na ako!
But as Madara rants on his assumptions, meanwhile, the shape of the giant energy apparition in the distance begins to distort, until beginning to suddenly fade away from the legs and arms first, and then finally, near completely, as it disappears into a swirl that seems to be centered all around Vegito.
Yun, may ginagawa,
And of course,
may ginagawa pala si Vegito.
as we zoom in closer, we see the reasoning become obvious, as through his energy absorption device, Ultra Vegito takes in all of the energy that Madara had released to create the Titan. And eventually, nothing is then left, as everything vanishes in a puff of smoke.
Ay grabe, hinigop.
Delicious. With Vegito's own palm being red hot and smoking itself from just how quick and concentrated the energy absorption was, before then placing back on his glove with the lowest of urgency.
Ayun, ibinalik na naman yung kanyang gloves. May pamporma talaga, pumoporma.
Leaving Madara now open-mouthed, having seen this technique for the first time, as he comments, "This vile creature! So this is what you meant by tasting my energy. You can absorb it. Yet another thing you have stolen from me. Enjoy it while you can. But I warn you, that wasn't even a fraction of my true power." But nonchalantly, as Vegito with his folded arms descends to the ground with a muffled thud, he would just then say, "Oh, I know that. Would be a bit embarrassing if that was any real percentage of your energy. Because I barely felt it. That might be because now your energy is meaningless to me. Or maybe it's because you haven't got that little toothpick of yours to attack me with. And if that's what you think, who am I not to believe you?"
Yan.
Tell me, Madara, are you a righty or a lefty? Before, without any hesitation, Vegito suddenly lifts his arm to grab onto his right horn and then... The raucous scream straight out from the pits of hell, Vegito's entire face becomes covered in veins, as he seemingly begins yelling as if putting all his energy and strength into one mystery action.
Oh, grabe.
Huh? Now what is this freak doing? Another transformation? Panicking Madara as he begins to step back from the sudden change in mannerism from Vegito.
Yeah, tingnan natin kung ano gagawin ni Vegito.
Come on!
Ayan na, ayan na.
Something very interesting begins to be seen as Vegito slowly pulls out his horn until...
Ay, grabe. Binali yung
Once
isang
fully pulled out with a splash of blood.
Hindi pala siya binali. Hinugot yung kanyang tinatawag na sungay. At may lumabas na tingnan niya, nabubulnaw sa sobrang ganda. Lumabas ngayon yung espada.
What is inexplicably revealed is an entire katana at the base of the horn, covered in black lightning, as a disorientated Vegito just lets out...
Ay, grabe.
Well, that's going to hurt in the morning. What is he? Leaving Madara now even more gobsmacked. What is
sa milyon-milyong taon na nabuhay to, hindi pa siya nakakita ng ganyang mga kalaban. Imposible naman.
Immortal can do as he watches on wide-eyed, just muttering out incoherent sounds until... Yeah! I believe this will be a suitable replacement for what you had.
Ayun,
it's
grabe.
imbued with half of my energy after all. So
ay, grabe, no? Kalahati ng enerhiya ni Ultra Vegito naman, no? Grabe naman yun.
Consider it evening the playing field.
Yan, para ibinigay, para halos parehas na sila. Kalahati. Lamang pa rin si Madara dapat dito kasi kalahati na ng puwersa ni Vegito, tapos may puwersa pang lamang si Madara sa sarili niya.
And just like that, Madara quickly grabs onto the handle as if second nature, peering at it from the side of his eye with curiosity taking in its obvious power. And now as silent as a baby given its dummy, Madara would then hold up the blade and stare down, assessing its quality before saying, "Fine craftsmanship.
Wow, pinuri
The
naman,
materials seem high quality too. This is the work of a mortal." Before seemingly all his confidence returns, as he pulls back the sword and stares at the now one-horned Vegito, and then saying, "So, you say this blade contains half your power?"
Yan, kalahati daw ng puwersa.
Let us see if you're bluffing or not. Somehow, I don't think I should be trusting one as demonic as you. Let's see what this thing can do!
Ayun,
As
grabe.
instantly, in a strange sword stance, the second then swipes his new blade with full power, striking nothing. But once we see things from Vegito's perspective, even with just a swipe in the air, a huge current of sharp wind rushes straight for an unmoving Vegito. And with Vegito's hair blowing in all directions and rubble crackling on his body as the airstream gets closer and closer to him, Vegito would say, "I told you so," before vanishing just in time. And then reappearing as just a stream of air from that one swipe leads to a massive mountain lion being sliced clean in half. As Vegito then asks with a smirk, "So, does it meet your requirements then? Will I finally be able to see this
Natuwa ka na ba?
true power of yours, Mr. Second?" And Madara, now
Tuwan-tuwa yung
enthralled with
bata,
his new
tuwan-tuwa si
weapon,
Madara.
would not even pay any mind to Vegito, as he would stare into the blade and with a smile say, "Oh yes, this will meet the job and then some. I do believe you've made a grave mistake here, Vegito. It seems once again, you let your overconfidence create your downfall.
Yeah, tingnan natin yung downfall, ha?
And
Yeah,
now
pumorma na,
I'm ready
pumorma
to
na.
put you down for eternity. Forget what that priest wants. I can deal with him later.
Yeah.
I'm erasing you from existence here and now." As
Ayun,
immediately, with his body contorted into his signature sword stance, the
Parang forma ni ni Kenshin Himura, kung kayo'y talagang mga manga fan.
maskless Madara displays a quietly confident smirk,
Yeah,
knowing
no,
full
forma
well
ni
in his
Kenshin yan,
mind how this battle will now go. Now that's the spirit! But as Madara's confidence grows, Vegito's enthusiasm does too. As with his arms folded once again, almost looking down at the second, he would simply just say, "Come then, I haven't got all day."
Bilisan mo. Ayan na, ayan na.
With not a moment in vain, Madara would then blast off at Vegito with fury in his eyes, and his now demonic sword in hand.
O, ayan na, ayan na. Tingnan natin.
While Vegito himself would just begin angling his body forward with a cocky smirk, readying himself for battle, even with his arms still folded.
Kita mo, ha?
But just as Madara slashes his blade, Vegito, even with half energy, dodges perfectly, still not letting go of his hands as he smirks and comments, "Oops, just missed me there, friend. Why don't you try again? Maybe you've grown a little rusty in the few minutes you've been without a blade.
Ayun.
Right, sword master? Shut up! Shut
Walang
up!
tinamaan eh. Walang
Triggering
tinamaan.
Madara mid-attack, he soon begins to doubt himself, thinking, what happened there? The strike was pin perfect. Timing, movement, speed, it couldn't get any better.
Yun,
Is that
napa.
just a fluke? It has to be.
Ayun,
Just
pinagin.
die! As now
Nagwala
enraged
na,
and losing
pinagin.
himself from within,
Yeah, man.
Madara would swing aimlessly and with acute ferocity in every direction, while Vegito, still with his arms folded, would dodge everything like playing with a mere child.
Grabe.
To think you may have actually put an end to me if you hadn't shown me that nightmare. What a horrific thing to do. And you think you gods are righteous, forcing me to see my loved ones die over and over, while I could do nothing but stand and watch. That wasn't nice,
Yung
Madara.
tama yung ginawa eh. Ginawa.
That wasn't nice at all!
Tinadyakan na
With a
naman.
slight hint of anger in his tone, Vegito would launch his legs straight through Madara's torso once again,
Grabe.
leaving the second to spit out blood and almost pop his eyeballs straight out of his head.
Wala stick na yan.
But this time, Madara isn't sent for a crash landing, but instead skids back on the soles of his feet, grabbing onto his chest in pain.
Hindi naman
before
tumalsik,
in an
hindi naman
exhausted
tumalsik.
state, letting out. This can't be happening to me. This is like fighting a real S-tier demon. Something isn't adding up here.
Grabe.
But as Vegito watches on with an air of patronization, he would cockily comment, "Oh, my dear Madara, when will you let go of this ego that you have from being a so-called god, and just accept this absolute gulf between our power levels? Our difference in strength was never anything to do with your weapon,
Yon.
but everything to do with your pathetic existence.
Yan.
Those who talk down to the gods will meet their fate one day. And if I can't be the one to do it with my abilities, then
Ayan, nagduda na siya sa kakayahan niya. Kung hindi ka ako makakatalo sa'yo, maaaring ibang Diyos. Yan, duda na siya eh.
I shall destroy you along with this planet! Immediately then launching his blade downwards, straight into the planet's surface, knowing with the blade's power, the whole planet would blow instantly.
Ayun,
But just as the blade reaches mere centimeters away from impact... What?
Ay,
Standing
grabe.
there unbelievably, as if having teleported, the God Killer uses his
Ginamit lang yung paa. Hindi dapat tusok yan.
own foot as a shield against the planet, not grimacing in the slightest, despite the confirmed sharpness and power of the blade. And as Vegito looks into the fear-stricken face of Madara, looking down on him, he unfolds his arms and says with a concerted smile, "Tut tut, what a brainless resort from you.
Walang
But I
utak.
guess it's to be expected of such reckless gods, so desperate to not be one-upped by the mortals they spit on. Unfortunately for you, one of you silly deities already tried to pull that
Tama,
dirty trick
tama.
on me once, and I won't be falling for it again.
Tama eh.
Don't you dare compare me to those low-life destroyers! The
Ayan
now
na!
crazed Madara fruitlessly try once again to slaughter Vegito, not remembering seconds ago how impossible the task will be. Enough, little piggy! But before Madara can embarrass himself any further, Ultra Vegito sheds a tear of mercy and punches him in the solar plexus, immediately knocking the wind straight from within him. And left coughing in pain and agony, now on his knees, he can only mutter one word.
Ang tindi talaga. Ilang beses na to. 2 beses tinadyakan sa dibdib. Ngayon naman, dinibdiban na naman ang kanan. Grabe, durug-durug na to.
How? But as Vegito walks closer and Madara tries to use his katana to keep himself upright,
Grabe.
Madara would then finally let out, "Wait!
Ayan, yan.
Will you take my energy, mortal? Just as you did my students. Allow me one request. I have one last gift for you before I go. A gift I wanted to give Guts.
Yun.
But you as the one who bested both he and I, is more deserving of it."
Yun.
And Vegito, looking down proudly like a god himself, would
Yun,
then
yun.
respond, "Of course. Unlike you gods, I know the meaning of mercy.
Yun.
Say your final words and feel free to give me this gift.
Ayan,
I'm
umahangay.
sure I shall treasure it always."
Bibigyan daw ng regalo. Ayun, ginawa.
Just as Vegito says this, Madara takes his chance and immediately grabs onto the arms of the unmoving Vegito.
Ayan, hinawakan
And
niya.
for a second, there is an air of curiosity as Vegito remains still, just watching as Madara tries his best. But as the second looks up and continues, "Sorry for the abrupt grab. I just need to look you in the eyes as I give you this. To which a cold and
Ayan,
unbothered
tinignan sa mata.
Vegito will just respond. Go on then.
Yan, tinignan na siya, mata sa mata.
Demon Flames!
Demon Flame.
As Madara shouts out this call, his eyes change once again and leak blood. As Vegito is instantly caught on fire with what seems an intense black fire.
Ayun, nasusunog yung
Soon
mukha.
engulfing his entire face in nanoseconds before
Nasunog mukha ni
ending the
Vegito.
god
Nasusunog ang mukha ni Vegito.
killer's life as his whole face is burned away instantaneously. Left with nothing but a singed skull still burning in what seems like unending flame.
Grabe, grabe.
I knew it! I knew I
Ay,
could do it!
tuwan-tuwa yung bata.
Call
Tuwan-tuwa yung
yourself
bata.
a demon, then you will burn like one. These flames will burn for as long as I live. Sealed straight from the demon realm. You grew cocky, God Killer, and that is why... But soon, the immense pure serotonin the second was experiencing is cut short, as a horrific sight then stares him back in
Ano kaya
the
nakita?
face.
Ano nakita?
What? I thought you were going to give me a gift, friend. Hurry up. I feel like it's getting a little hot.
Monster!
Leaving Madara with nothing to say but whimpers and cowering breaths.
Grabe.
Looking at what could only be described as his worst nightmare. And soon, Vegito would then just grab onto the skull of Madara, bleeding and crying from his eyes with both hands and say lovingly, "Oh, you poor little thing! You look like you've seen ghosts. How
Go!
about I just put you to sleep now, so you can forget all about it?"
Ayan.
And just like that, within seconds, Madara would fall to his knees, and then eventually face first onto the ground.
Ayun,
now
tapos na
deceased,
si Madara,
his
hinigop na.
energy given, gone. And with that done, from the still burning skull of Vegito, pink goo would begin to form around his chin.
Ayun.
As he slowly then begins laughing, the goo would then formulate around his skull. Until
Ayun,
soon
no, bumalik
forming
na
the
naman yung
perfect
mukha.
shape of his face, and then as with the flames now all gone and covered in black lightning, Ultra Vegito would stand good as new once again without a scratch on him. Now truly immortal with the power.
Grabe.
But as this scene takes place, curiously, it begins being watched on a familiar screen.
Ngayon, grabe.
And then
oh.
when we see the petite
Nakakatawa to
Zeno
eh. Meron
smiling
bang
as
mga
he watches,
electronic
he would
gadget
then
eh, no?
innocent.
May electronic gadget yung mga Filipino. Nakakatawa talaga. Dapat ano na lang yan eh. Hindi electronic gadget eh. Mas maganda sanang ginamit yan. Hologram na lang, no?
He comment, "Wow! Son Goku has got even stronger. Amazing. And now he looks even more cool." But as Zeno says this, a visibly annoyed Grand Priest would
Yeah.
carefully slam his palms onto the table, looking with his side eye, careful to not show his anger to the Omni King, and says, "Yes, so very cool.
Ewan, cool daw.
Seems Madara made one too many mistakes, but I guess that is to be expected by one of the two weakest in the five."
Ay, grabe. 2 weeks in the 5 lang pala yung dalawa.
The rest will not fail. I promise that. But Zeno, with a strange look on his face, would have other plans, and reply, I'm not sure I want to see that die. I think Goku will just win again. I want to see something different.
Yun.
I think I think I should send one of the guards to fight him. What?
Ay,
As
grabe, one of
instantly,
the
on
gods.
reaction to one of the most unexpected lines in the whole story, both of the Omni King's guards and the Grand Priest step back
Ayan na, tingnan natin kung mangyayari to. Naka-session, yung one of the guards.
in pure disbelief over what they had just heard. And now leave us wondering what on earth will happen to Ultra Vegito now.
Yun.
But that was it for today's
Yan,
video,
dyan muna tayo
guys. And
mga
if you
partners. Dyan muna tayo. At maraming salamat.